carry on with our special coverage of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Now, ahead of that meeting, KTN has over the last 3 days held comprehensive discussions with students and lecturers at key Nairobi universities on the fate of Kenya's entrepreneurs after the summit. Last night, we were at Strathmore University, and here is part of that discussion.
Thank you, Alan. I would say that banks in Kenya have not been as proactive as they need to be in funding entrepreneurs, specifically startups or entrepreneurs who are innovative and don't have a history with a certain product or a history with whatever it is that that they've brought to market. You find that the only sources of finance that there are would be from venture capital funds, which aren't that many in Kenya. So generally there is a problem, and banks need to look at what they can do for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, very quickly, what was your experience? Tell us a little bit about your business and what was your experience in terms of financing before you were able to bridge that gap?
In my particular experience, I run a plant that converts agri-residue into biomass briquettes at a large scale. And in my experience, we had to work with specific competitions that raised funds for innovative ideas. Also had to work with one specific, you could call it a venture capital fund of sorts, that actually is associated with the Kenya government. That's ICBC. But there are a few others which would work with entrepreneurs and would help them raise the funds that they need to get started. But a lot needs to be done by the commercial banks.
All right, thanks a lot. Yvonne, maybe we can pick up from there in terms of financing of ideas for innovators here.
And that's a good place because there's a Kenya Climate Innovation Center here, and when we had this discussion, I found it quite exciting, the 5-step process. Perhaps Mr. Mungai, the CEO of that, you can talk to us a little bit about that and how exactly that works, if you can go through the 5 steps very quickly. Because what I found interesting about the idea is that you even give grants to test the idea, which is, I suppose, extremely important. But just tell us about your 5-step process.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. And I think the real challenge, that we have in this country is that valley of death. And John, you talked about it, and a lot of entrepreneurs here, yes, you have brilliant ideas, but the most unfortunate thing is that you can't see that idea through the valley of death. And what is this valley of death? Is where the banks are saying, we need to see that you've sold 100 biogas systems. But how do you do that? I mean, first of all, you need to prove your concept. And once that concept is proven, then the banks will really appreciate what you are trying to offer. And in this case, that's where the Kenya Climate Innovation Center comes in. And we provide proof of concept grants up to the tune of $50,000, which is free money, for you just to play around with your idea. If you succeed, then we take you to the next step, which is again what I call scaling. And when you are scaling your idea, really what then we need is commercial money.